Are you serious? Are you serious? We're very serious. There's a unbelievable situation is taking place. The Middle East, the entire you're not getting all the information. There's now been a boat that's been hijacked or a ship behind me here with 25 hostages. And the Iranian Houthi rebels from Yemen are the ones that did it, but they're back, of course, they are the proxies of Iran. It's all part of this regional war, which could be actually, we know we're in Psalms 83. That's a fact. But now, are we moving in with 61 American bases who have been attacked by the Iranian proxies since October the 7th? 61 times American bases, American troops, American ships have been attacked. What's going on? Are we about to go into Ezekiel 38? Let me tell you all about it in just a second. First, quick shout out for www.3harmfulfoods.com/Paul. That's www.3harmfulfoods.com/Paul. We live in the most advanced era in human history. And there have never been more medical breakthroughs than right now. Okay, never. Okay, and so while there are millions of Americans are more unhealthy and overweight than they've ever been, according to the U.S. board certified physicians and expert nutritionist, Dr. Amy Lee, one of the main reasons is 3 harmful foods that are being passed off as health foods all over the country. And wait till you hear this. Because these foods can cause weight gain, clog your digestive tract, deplete your energy, wreck your skin, they are banned in other countries. Yet shockingly, they're still legal right here in the United States. And it's time for someone to shine a light on what they are. Dr. Amy Lee does just that while explaining how the side effects from these foods are wreaking havoc on the health of millions of Americans. The greatest news is it's easy to stop, to reverse this damage by simply learning which foods to avoid and how to spot them. And by doing so, you can experience easier weight loss, smooth digestion, and vibrant energy. To find out these 3 fake health foods, go to 3 right there in the link below. You can click on it. www.3harmfulfoods.com/Paul. That's www.3harmfulfoods.com/Paul. Or click right on that link right below this video. After years of extensive study, Dr. Amy Lee put together a revealing video totally free to the public so you never get duped by these foods ever again. Find out all you need to know about it. Regain control of your body. Just go to www.3harmfulfoods.com/Paul or click on that link below. All right. It's very important, guys, that we identify the poison out there, and yet they want to call it good stuff. Are you serious? That's insane. Oh, speaking of insane, Invasion America, the final webinar of the year, our last webinar of the year, December the 1st, is going to be powerful. It is powerful, and I really want you to find out all about it because America is being invaded from every direction. That's why I wrote the book, Revelation 9/11, along with my co-author, Troy Anderson, is because we wanted to show you how the book of Revelation intersects with today's headlines. And you might remember Hal Lindsey's book, The Late Great Planet Earth. Well, we've went way past that, Hal. I know you know that. We're in a whole, though this world is on fire with every prophetic event you can imagine. But that's why we're doing this webinar, because this webinar we bring in the best speakers we can. Doug Hagman, Stan Deyo, Dave Hodges, Colonel David Giammona, Troy Anderson, my co-author, Bishop Larry Ragland, Pastor Melvin Whittington, Apostle Larry Shelby, and on and on and on. There's 14 speakers. Great documentary by my son Bart Begley. All of it tied together. Heidi interviews 3 ladies. Also, they're very, very tapped into the intelligence community. All of this will help you understand the times we're in. So get your tickets now. Go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. All right, I know you came to hear about the ships, the hijacking. Let's do that because this is incredible what's taking place here. It's disturbing even. But if you think this war is over, if you think it's winding down with Israel pretty well going to stamp out Hamas, believe me, the pressure on Netanyahu is immense. He's getting it from the region, the entire world hating on him, the United Nations. He's getting pressure from the Biden administration to immediately move into a 2-state solution. He's getting pressure from his own Knesset turning on him, the opposition leaders. I mean, this guy has got pressure everywhere. And now hijacking of this ship, this cargo ship. Yemen's Houthi rebels, which are really Iranian proxies, everyone knows it, have seized an Israeli-linked cargo ship in the Red Sea. Imagine this. Moses crossed the Red Sea, and now Iran is hijacking an Israeli-linked ship, a cargo ship. That yesterday it has taken over the ship, including the 25 crew members. They are now hostage, according to officials, raising fears that the regional tensions have heightened over the Israeli-Hamas war. We're playing out on a new marine front on the sea. There is trouble on the sea. That's a prophecy in Isaiah 17. When it starts talking about the destruction of Damascus, it says there's trouble on the sea. Well, there it is. Now, the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels said they hijacked the ship over its connection to Israel and would continue to target ships in the international waters that were linked to or owned by Israelis until the end of Israel's campaign against Gaza Hamas rulers. All ships belonging to the Israeli enemy or that deal with it will become legitimate targets, said the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. Mohammed Abdul Salam, the Houthis' chief negotiator and spokesman, later added an online statement that the Israelis only understand the language of force. Mohammed Abdul Salam said the detention of the Israeli ship is a practical step that proves the seriousness of the Yemeni armed forces in waging a sea battle. Regardless of its cost, he added, this is the beginning. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, said that Mohammed Abdul Salam, the Houthi rebel leader, Netanyahu's office has blamed him and the Houthis under the direction of the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and the Iranians for this attack on the Bahama. The flag on the ship was the Bahamas. It's called the Galaxy Leader. It's the ship right behind me here, a vehicle carrier affiliated with an Israeli billionaire. It said no Israelis were on board, but there are 25 hostages. The ship's Japanese operator, Bahama ship, being operated by a Japanese but owned by an Israeli billionaire. The said that the vessel has no cargo on it, but 25 crew members from the Philippines, Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine, Mexico, and NYK. So Japan on Monday said they condemned this hijacking as Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirkazu Matsuno said that the Japanese government was doing its utmost for the early release of the crew through negotiations with Iran's Houthi rebels. while also communicating with the government of Israel and cooperating with the governments of Saudi Arabia and Oman and Iran. Now, the Houthi said they were treating the crew members in accordance with the Islamic values, not according to the Geneva Convention, not according to the laws of war, but according to the Islamic values. Would you call that Sharia law? And if that's the case, I'm serious. I wouldn't want to be in these guys' socks for the shoes. But they didn't elaborate really what they were doing. Netanyahu's office condemned the seizure as an Iranian act of terror. And the Israeli military called the hijacking a very grave incident of global consequences. And Israel's officials insisted that the ship was British-owned and Japanese-operated. However, ownership details in public shipping databases have associated that this ship's owner is Ray Car Carriers, owned by Abraham Ungar, or Abraham Arami Ungar, who is one of the richest Jewish billionaires in Israel. Now, Ungar told the Associated Press that he was aware of the incident but couldn't comment as he was awaiting more details. And a ship linked to him experienced an explosion back in 2021 in the Gulf of Oman. Israeli media blamed it all on Iran at that time as well. Authorities have confirmed today that the captain and the first mate of the Galaxy Leader are Bulgarians. The Bulgarians' top police officers are telling reporters that they were in touch with their families. Nobody has sought contact with us to this moment. International shipping often involves a series of management companies like flags and owners stretching across the globe in a single vessel. So you could have an Israeli owner of the ship, you could have the Japanese actually operating the ship, and you could have the Bahamas flag on the ship. Okay, I mean it's totally legal. It goes on all the time. So 2 U.S. defense officials have confirmed that the Houthi rebels have seized the Galaxy Leader ship behind me here in the Red Sea. That happened yesterday afternoon, and the rebels have descended onto the cargo ship by rappelling from a helicopter. That's how they got on it, with guns, and they got on there. The rebels came down from a helicopter. Who's operating that? Iran, of course. This confirming details first was reported by NBC News, and the officials have spoken on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the matter. But the ship's seizure resembles others previously conducted by Iran, which has long armed and supported and funded the Houthi rebels of Yemen. Twice in the last month, the United States warships have intercepted missiles or drones from the Yemen Houthis that were believed to be headed toward Israel or posing a threat to American vessels. And the USS Carney, a Navy destroyer, has intercepted 3 different land-attacked cruise missiles fired by the Houthis, and several other drones that were launched by Houthi forces toward the northern Red Sea last month in October. And on November 15th, the USS Thomas Hudner, another destroyer, was sailing toward the Baba Mandaba Strait, and I've said that a little wrong, when the crew saw a drone reported to have originated in Yemen. The ship shot down the drone over the water. The officials said the crew took action to ensure the safety of U.S. personnel, and there were no casualties or damage to the ship. Now, satellite trafficking data from the marinetraffic.com analyzed the Associated Press's report on the Galaxy Leader, the ship behind me here, traveling in the Red Sea southwest of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and more than a day ago. Okay, so satellite trafficking, watching where that ship was at. It went by Saudi Arabia. The vessel has been to Turkey and was on its way to India at the time that the Houthi rebels seized the ship, taking all 25 crew members hostage, and the ship is owned by the Israeli billionaire. It had its automatic identification system tracker on it. That has now been switched off. The data shows the ships are supposed to keep their AIS active for safety reasons, but the crews will be turn them off, if it appears, because they have been taken over. And so now the Galaxy Leader drifts at sea without any GPS tracking to it. But satellites can keep a close eye. Even though they don't have the tracking thing, I know the United States and the Israelis know exactly where that ship is. And help also from the British military, the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, which provide warnings to sailors in the Persian Gulf and a wider region. But the hijacking, as having occurred 90 miles off the coast of Yemen's port city there, and it later cited a security officer with the ship's company saying the vessel had been taken, and they had taken it into the dock there in Yemen. We'll see if that's true. The Red Sea, of course, stretches from Egypt's Suez Canal to this narrow strait separating the Arabian Peninsula from Africa. It remains a very key trade route for global shipping and energy supplies. That's why the United States Navy has stationed multiple ships in the sea since the start of this war, this brutal attack, brutality of the Hamas murderers on that fateful day of October the 7th. So this is what's going on. You're not getting these reports anywhere in the mainstream media. I guarantee it. But I felt this is so significant because think about this. You have 240 hostages that Hamas has right now. And now you got these 25 hostages from the ship behind me here, the Galaxy Leader, owned by an Israeli businessman. So, okay, now you're starting to see why Damascus could get bombed and be destroyed, because it's in Damascus where the Iranians are running this proxy war using Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, the Syrians, the Russians are all parked over there just over the Golan Heights in Syria. And then you can always throw in ISIS and the Islamic Jihad, who are the murder and training jihadis that obviously their fingerprint was all over this attack on October 7th. Yeah, prophecy is taking place, and real people are dying, and real nations are being threatened, and it's all over the whole world. Yet, after I just told you everything that's going on, you don't see a global protesting demanding Hamas be stopped. That is not happening. But you do see massive protesting going on against Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli people and against the Jews around the world. And it's even being preached from the pulpits of a few loose cannon biblical preachers, teachers, whatever these guys are, CIA operatives, whatever they are out there. It seems like they're pushing this narrative of anti-Israel. So what do we do, Pastor? What do we do? Well, we just recognize it. First of all, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Recognize what's happening. Realize this is fulfillment of biblical prophecy. And then give this world back to God.
Have you looked around? Have you heard the sound of mama's crying? Or do you turn away when you see the face of the innocent dying? In these darkest days, are you not afraid that it's too late? You gotta get down on your knees, we're still worth saving.
That's right.
Can't go on like this and live like this. We can't love like this. Give this world back to God.
Oh, give it back. Give this world back to God. We need prayer warriors.
Have you lost your love? Feel like giving up? Has your heart been broken? Are your kids okay? Do they come home safe? Do you lie there hoping? You can make a wish.
Yes, you can.
You
can knock on wood. Oh, it won't do you no good.
You gotta
Get down on your knees, believe, fold your hands and beg and plead. You gotta keep on praying.
You gotta cry, rain,
Tears of pain pound the floor and scream his name, 'cause we're still worth saving. Yes, we are.
We can't go on like this and live like this. We can't love like this.
No. Give this world back to God. Somebody out there shout amen. You gotta get down on your knees, believe, fold your hands and beg and plead and keep on praying.
You gotta cry, rain, tears of pain, pound the floor and scream his name, 'cause we're still worth saving.
Do you believe it? Do you still believe we're worth saving?
Can't go on like this and live like this. We can't love like this. You can hope the best, make a wish. The only answer is give this world back to God. Oh, give it back. Hey!
That's right. Keep praying. Na, na, da, na, da, na, 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 da, na, na. Jesus is coming soon. He's coming. He is coming. Are you ready? Such a powerful song, and it's on my album, The Journey. The Journey, if you want to get it. That album is, of course, at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. That song, of course, Reba McEntire recorded that a few years ago. It was actually one of the top songs of the year. Boy, though, a song about prayer. But you know what? We are now certainly can see the reason that prayer is so desperately needed today. A lot of people got saved last night. I don't know exactly the total number of folks that gave their life to Jesus Christ, but boy, I tell you what, I'm so excited about it. And it was amazing to see people rededicating, but many of them being born again for the first time ever to give their life to Christ. And so we had a great crowd of folks on a Sunday night, and we just want to keep on leading people to Jesus. Okay? And so thank you guys for all your love and support and prayers, and keep believing because Jesus is coming soon. I'll be back with more current world events today. It's going to be a busy day. There's a lot going on. I mean, I didn't even tell you about what happened in Argentina. Another wild-haired man has become the next president of another nation. I mean, we had Trump, we had Boris Johnson, and now we've got this guy out there in Argentina. Just a wild man, and his name is Milei. Okay, President. He will be President Milei. He may have the worst hair of them all. I'll be back. Are you serious? Of course, at least I got a little bit, but it's thin and fast. What?